Central Park. It was the first urban park in the United States. It took over 10 years to create and finish its landscape design. It also cost roughly $10 million. For years, there was a debate over the location on where the park would be placed. In 1857, construction finally began. Frederick L. Olsted became the superintendent, and Clever Klux became the architect. Central Park is more than 84 acres and is located in the center of Manhattan. The people that worked on Central Park in creating and helping build it were thousands of Irish and German and New England laborers. Some were newly immigrants coming into America. They worked 10 hours a day to be the mostly paid $1.50. The park was built for the rich. It was right in walking distance of the city's working class and high society classes. Luxurious carts could be seen in the afternoons and evenings traveling up and down the twisted paths of Central Park. Central Park also held concerts from artists all around the world on weekends. Things over the years started to change when the middle class had finally developed. Things became less and less for the high class and was resorted to all classes. The first playground was created in 1926 when the park went from being high middle class to being the Great Lawn, where everybody could enjoy no matter what class you were. You no longer saw signs asking you to please keep off the grass. It was a family-friendly area. During the 60s and 70s, there was a budget cut causing cuts of maintenance. Despite needing maintenance after concerts or rallies, the general maintenance projects such as gardening or refreshing areas were exterminated. In 1980, many New Yorkers got together to form a group called You Gotta Have a Park. They helped raise money to restore and keep the park in shape for the future. Central Park Zoo. In 1864, the legislature approved of construction for several new buildings to become home to the animals. In 1934, the commissioner at the time, Robert Moses, gave funds from WPA to support the living area for the animals. In 1980, the Wildlife Conservation Society entered an agreement with the City of New York to renovate and to help operate the zoo. Construction was finished by 1885. Central Park Zoo is home to many and loved by all. There are 3 major exhibits, such as the Polar Circle, the Rainforest, and the Temperate Territory. You can find almost 130 different types of species in the zoo itself. "55 acres of plush green lawn are located in the middle of Central Park. But before the Great Lawn, there was a Corton Reservoir originally. But later in 1931, all the water was drained from the reservoir. Many had debates on what would replace the reservoir. Ideas such as World War I Memorial or the Opera House, for example. But in 1937, it was decided that the grass would be planted and it would be known as the Great Lawn. In the 1950s, there were 8 baseball diamonds added. During the 60s and the 70s, due to improper care, the Great Lawn had become more of a dust bowl. In 1995, the Central Park Commissary restored the Great Lawn back to plush green. The Great Lawn has held many performances and other concerts. There are many different statues in Central Park, including Balto, Alice in Wonderland, William Shakespeare. There are a lot of different activities and tourist sites that you can visit. There are outdoor skating rinks, carousels, public swimming pools, and baseball fields and tennis courts. They're all there for you to see. You just have to visit.